Today I will show you how to build a fun Lego alternate model. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm showing you now some footage from my members only vlog where I have this exotic pink parrot set, a Lego Creator 3-in-1, set number 31144. I have this in my collection for a while. I don't remember where I got it, and I'm not planning to keep it on display. I was planning to part it out. So I thought maybe this could be a good chance to build another fun alternate model. I was playing around with this for a little bit and I couldn't find any good ideas on what to build. There is the parrot and another two animals that already coming with the set. I thought it would be fun with this color scheme to build some sort of kind of retro spaceship or something of the sort. But the parts didn't really work out. So what I decided to do is to do an alternate model adding two parts which are here on screen now. So we have this very cool windscreen and these Friends Space Dog Astronaut. These both come from the Friends Space Exploration Rover. I think that's the name anyway. I will link it now below. For which I already built a couple of alternate models. It was quite fun. So I thought I can use these two just to create a new alternate model. So the first thing I do is create something that would work around this windscreen. Okay, so here I have this sort of little shell. I have to mix up a little bit all these shades of purple, lavender, blues, but they kind of work together well. So this is the little frame that I build, and then I can just connect this to the two studs, and this will allow me then later on to put it on and off easily later on. I'm coming up a little bit more here at the front. Was looking better actually when it was one plate less, so it was everything a little bit more smooth. But that's because I need to add the underside, and I had to modify the underside a couple of times. So when I connect this, you can see this will go a little bit longer, and if I take out the plate, this will stick out. I could definitely do without this. Okay, it's still the underside, so it's not gonna be too bad at the end. But again, with the selection of parts that I have and the slope that I have, I think this was the better solution. It's not gonna be a super solid connection at the bottom because I only connect on the studs on this side. I will probably need a different type of snot bricks over there so that I can have a more sturdy connection. But again, it still works. I also want to create a little bit of details inside where I'm gonna add then the space dog. This is his vehicle. I'm not using mini dolls and mini figures because they are gonna be too tall and then I wouldn't be able to close this. I created a little build with the parts that were left in the set. Maybe I should probably remove the side here. This is gonna connect sideways and then I can close it back again. So at the end is a pretty solid and sturdy build, and I have the jumper just nice there to connect the dog and some sort of steering accessory over there at the front. I can actually add also something like this as a sort of back seat or something like that. So you can see that it kind of work well over here. At the bottom, I had this odd color because I wanted to add some sort of landing pad. So this is gonna help me to then give a third leg of landing gear over there. At the back of this, I'm gonna add then a structure with the wings. This is the main structure that I created. You can see that we have again some snot bricks that they're gonna keep the two models together, and also they're fairly easy to take out. So potentially you can just also play around with only one side, even though then it's open at the top. We have these very interesting slopes. I was playing around actually with these in different places. At the end, I decided to use them over here at the back. This also will help me make this very nice and sturdy and close the back side over there. So I think they work really well on top over here, and also the color continue in the two segments. So I think that works. What I did for the wheels is that I have these half quarter blue pieces and then this round one that are gonna connect like this. So they create a kind of oval shape. And I really like also this kind of arrow design with this lighter blue with the cut slope that goes in. So this, I think, it give a nice sleek design, and then I just added some details into it. So I think this is already pretty good, and then you can see when you connect, you sort of have a little bit of a art shape, which I think is pretty good. Now let's add a little bit of detail. So for example, here on the side, I want to add the other parts of the landing gear. These are not going to be very solid because they are connected only on the side. It would have been better to have a connection also over here, but it's still quite stable because there's no gap thanks to this headlight brick that align perfectly here with the wing of this spaceship. These also allow me to have a little bit of space to put this up and down. Potentially, I can even rotate them so it looks even more sleek when flying. The only thing I don't like is that I have a different color here at the front, but that's just because of the part selection that came in the set. Anyway, if I open this up, this come out a little bit lower, which I don't mind because then it gives me a little bit of a tilted up design when landing, which I think it looks quite cool. I still have a few parts that I can add to this vehicle. So, for example, I wanted to add some type of small thruster of sorts. So I have these Technic pieces that coming off here at the back. I wanted to add some extra details here, maybe something coming off these thrusters, but I didn't have the right connection. So I think this still works okay. I added some sort of tail here at the back, a little bit higher, which I think also makes it look a little bit better. Just a poorly aesthetic choice, considering again the parts available in this set. And then I have another one of these loops that I'm going to connect here on the side to close the back part a little bit. So pretty good shape, quite swooshable. Easy also to disconnect here in the middle, but sturdy at the same time. The windscreen come off fairly easily, as well as the dog. And I think the overall shape is pretty nice. But then I still have quite a bit of parts available, so I thought maybe I can have a little side scene of some sort of planet that this dog is exploring. So with all those light yellow parts, not many of those actually, mostly slopes and tiles, I decided to create a little landscape and add some sort of animal. So let's say the dog can come out and go and explore. And he's going to find a sort of a bird, alien bird, a sort of peacock type of thing. Again, I was working with the parts available in my collection. So this peacock has one eye in the center. I think the head is a little bit odd, but I was trying to work with what I had. We have some sort of wings here on the side. This part will just help me to connect it then over here to the landscape. And I was saying this is a peacock, so of course you need to have all the wings, or I don't know what they call the tail at the back. And because there was all these planned pieces coming in the set, I think this was a pretty straightforward choice to create this sort of alien type bird. I think it kind of works. It's a bit silly if you want, but it kind of works. At the end, we're just having fun here. This is not going to be displayed anywhere. So it was just a good exercise of creativity. You can also see here in the footage that the parts left were not that much, but I didn't find any other way to utilize those also because there was a lot of very different color that then wouldn't match this. The only little thing that I decided to add is this. So I create a sort of little, maybe rover kind of vehicle. They cannot really spin the wheels, but you have the idea. It follow the color scheme of that one in the wheels. So I think this is a pretty nice and fun little addition. Potentially you can connect the dog on top to get him to ride around this planet, even though it's a bit weird because it's very tall. But I think this was also a pretty fun addition. And when it's time to leave, of course, the dog can go back into the position. And I have also the place, I can close this also like I said earlier. We also have the place here for a little connection for this little rover that can just go and fly away together with the with this flying vehicle, with this spaceship. So I think at the end this was a success. Definitely one of the most challenging alternate build that I did. If you like this type of build, and by the way, I recommend you to try out because it's a very fun exercise of creativity, and you don't need additional parts, just need to buy a small Lego set. Some example, I will link a couple of videos over here. So the latest one was the mouse that I built with the Playful Cat 3-in-1 set, very good set by the way. And also I have two alternate model for the Space Explorer rover that I was mentioning earlier. So if you like, go have a look at those videos. Please consider to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And that's about it. I will see you on the next video. Ciao, ciao.